Nick Williams asks if I would be interested in doing a movie that was all in Spanish, given the fact that I've been learning Spanish and I also make movies. And right now I'm making Chicken Coop, which is a really cool little Christmas movie. You guys should check out the description below to learn more about the project and join our email list if you're interested in helping to make it. Anyway, yeah, I've been learning Spanish for a few years now, honestly, since, I don't know, about 6 months into, no, maybe about a year into moving to LA. I decided to try to start learning Spanish, and I started with like the flashcards and everything, and then I did some research on language learning and found out that that old antiquated way of studying language through drilling vocabulary and studying and testing yourself on grammar is absolutely useless when it comes to acquiring the language. So, and since I switched my learning style completely to one entirely based on reading and listening, my Spanish has gone it's gone way faster as far as my increase in my Spanish language skill, and now I talk to tutors and everything like that. But I would say my level on Spanish right now is teetering between a B1 and a B2 level. You're gonna have to look up what that means if you don't know what that means already. C1 is like basically fluent. C2 is native level of fluency. B1 and B2 are the intermediate levels, and I'm teetering between those two. B2 is like you understand everything, but you make a lot of mistakes. And B1 is you can understand, most things that are basic. I'm somewhere in between the two because it really just depends on what the subject is. Fourth time around into a Harry Potter book, I can understand 97% of it. But the first time through, I'm getting like 60, 70. A cartoon show for children, I can get almost all of it as well. It just depends. But that definitely means that, at least at this point, no, I would not direct anything that was solely in the Spanish language. And so I've never directed anything that I did not write. I would never, ever assume that I could write something in Spanish that would be any good. I would want to pair up with a writer or have there be a script written. And there's a question about like how far into Spanish do I want to go. My initial Spanish language goal was 725 hours because that was a few years ago what the Foreign Service Institute put as like basic fluency level for Spanish. And I'm kind of approaching that. I got about 150 hours left. But what they mean by that number is basically you can be dropped off into a foreign country and you'll survive. Like you'll do okay. Like your language is good enough for that. As far as like being like really fluent, I don't even know if I want to get there with Spanish. I kind of want to get to a level where I can understand most things and I can pretty much say what I need to say. And then I might study another language. Other languages are starting to look real sexy to me. So that's a problem. I was studying Japanese for a little while. I was like relearning the kanji and stuff like that. And I realized I needed to focus totally on Spanish because, serving two masters was a problem. I could have spent, another half hour, another hour on Spanish. And the Spanish was, of course, going up faster. So it was easier to study without my brain, like, getting burnt out. Like, because the more you get used to a language, the more fun it becomes to consume content in that language. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be at a level that's high enough to really be able to understand, like, nuances in language, and how an actor would say a line or something like that. So directorially, probably not, but maybe if my level got high enough, or if it was a story that was really, visual or something, and wasn't so based upon like natural human interactions. Silly thing to say. I know. I would, however, be totally interested in producing a Spanish language movie and heading a project that would be directed and written by other people. Yeah. That Caleb Hatton, our producer on Chicken Coop, actually, he's fluent in Spanish. He's a white guy. He's fluent in Spanish. And he has made a couple short films in the Spanish language. I have no idea how he has the cojones to do that, but he does. It's pretty cool that he does that. I don't know if I ever would. I don't know if I would ever feel comfortable with, like, especially the writing side, or being able to coach an actor into having the right motivation with a certain line, So I don't know. And would I, as the director, be able to understand all of the writers, what they mean by each line? Because people don't always say what they mean, and there's always a bigger cultural context around what people say and how they say it. And would you be able to understand that? I don't know. I know there's plenty of directors who make great movies in English that aren't necessarily super fluent in English, like Denis Villeneuve, who just released Dune. Very thick French accent, Quebecois accent, and yet he makes great stuff. I don't know. Good question, though. Good question. You're having me think pretty hard. Anyway, guys, if you want to leave a comment below, ask me a question, and I will probably make a video out of it. So, thank you for that. Thank you for leaving your questions. Thank you for watching. Please check out in the description below Chicken Coop, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good night.